Hi Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I have been on a break for about a month now, and I just want to thank you all so much for staying and sticking with me and giving me some time. So I really appreciate that. Yesterday was Thanksgiving in the United States, and we had a very white Thanksgiving here. So unfortunately I wasn't able to see my family, but I'm trying to get in the holiday spirit. Got some snowflakes on my Let It Snow mug. I started decorating the tree because when you're trapped inside for this many days, you might as well get some stuff done. Now, the last Friday of every month, I greet and welcome people who are new subscribers to my channel and who have their subscribers listed publicly. So there may be people I'm missing. I'm so sorry if I'm missing you, but that's the reason why. I can only see the people who have the channels they subscribe to listed publicly. So people without Booktube channels, I want to welcome William D, Sadra, Kinimomo. Oh, this is a rough one. It's like odd, ADHH. Anyway, welcome. Deb, Julie, Emmy Sams, Goose, D. Demarie 2, and then a few new channels that I will link to down below and you should definitely check out. The Grape Jelly Library, love that name. Actually, these are all great Booktube channel names. Books at the Bottom of the Stairs, In Search of Wonder, and Time at Last Book Reviews. So I will link to those down below. And I have still been filming even though I've been on break because I didn't want to forget when I finished a book, like I wanted to be able to remember my thoughts on it right then. So here we go into some very brief book reviews. Hi Booktube, today is October 30th, and yesterday, after starting it more than a year ago, I finished the best ghost stories of Joseph Sheridan, LeFanu, and I want to talk to you about it while it's still on my mind. I feel like Joseph Sheridan, LeFanu, really gets in his own way in a lot of these stories. There always has to be someone who's recording it, like almost like a Sherlock Holmes and Watson kind of thing, rather than just having the story just be a story. Like there always has to be a letter writer or you know, a governess by the fire telling the story or something like that. Or as I mentioned in Green Tea, there's a character who appears in several of the stories in this collection, a German physician whose, I think his last name is Heselius? I'm not sure. Anyway, but yeah, so I gave it 4 stars because I do really feel like LeFanu understands how to make you feel like the fog is rolling in and it's stormy outside, or the moonlight is, you know, doing this and it's having this effect on people and that sort of thing. The stories that I thought were the best in here felt almost like they were, and maybe they were, from kind of Irish folklore. So I thought some of the stories were excellent. Some of them were just way too long to be in a short story collection. I mean, a short story that's more than 100 pages, it's kind of a novella. However, I looked around and I don't know that I can find a collection. Like there might be a slightly newer edition than this one, but otherwise, I don't know, all the short story collections that I looked up, like the title story at least, is in here. So even this is a terrible cover from the 60s. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I might hang on to it. The spine is starting to break, but again, like, this is not the kind of thing I'm going to stumble across somewhere. I am really excited to possibly read in maybe 2024 Uncle Silas. So if you've read these stories, I know at least one of you has read maybe the same collection. But yeah, if you've read some stories by Joseph Sheridan, if you read Uncle Silas, like, tell me what you thought down below in the comment section. All right, 2 more books that I finished in November. This is amazing, you guys. One that I loved, and one that drove me completely crazy. So we'll start off with the one I loved. This was a buddy read that I did, The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. This book is, I hate to say too much about it, but it is a really fascinating read because of the structure of it. The first part of the book takes place in 1947. It's of course all in England. And the second section of the book takes place in 1944 during the second Blitz, which I did not know about until reading this book. And the last part of the book, it takes place in 1941, which is during the first Blitz. And I just don't really know how, like, the structure of it is so fascinating because you have to realize, like, okay, what you're looking for is, like, how did people get to where they are at the beginning of the book? Like, here's where people are, the latest that we're going to ever see them. Everything else we're going to see them is before this particular moment. And so then you're trying to almost like reconstruct how things turned out the way they did. And for some characters, I feel like where they're at the beginning of the book is a better place. And some of the characters, I feel like where they're at the beginning of the book is a worse place from the end, which doesn't even make sense. But anyway, I was a very bad buddy reader. And I just could not stop reading this book. It was a freight train. I just, we would have these like guidelines of when to check in, and I just was very bad. And I just tore through it. I really, really recommend this book, especially if you've read anything else by Sarah Waters. This is a 5-star read. The other book by her that I absolutely love is Fingersmith. I haven't read all of her books. I've only read Fingersmith and The Little Stranger. And all 3 of which have like just some incredible scenes. I'm weighing in my hands, like, do I like Fingersmith more or The Night Watch? I'm not sure, but rereading either one of them would be a completely different experience once you know kind of what's going to happen. So anyway, this was great. What was not great was Atomic Habits by James Clear. Tiny changes, remarkable results, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And I'm really happy for James Clear. Like, he's sold more than 10 million copies of this book. And I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. I had to read this book for part of my workplace professional development book club. So that's why there's so many stickies in it, is because I still have to talk about this book in December. But I absolutely had to get get it done. Like, it was making me crazy. I liked it less and less the longer it went on. I think James Clear himself has a really fascinating personal story, but I don't know if it's because I don't think of things as habits that maybe are habits. I don't know if this book just reminded me of all the things in my life that are not in my control. I'm not sure. I actually recommended this for our professional development book club. I was like, oh, we should read, let's try this one. I had a really difficult time connecting it to my professional life, which again, like, that's maybe on me. I could, a lot of his examples are about your personal life. I think a lot of examples apply to people who are younger than I am. I'm still going through my sticky notes looking for, like, okay, what can I take from this book? What can I do? What can I use from this and scrap the rest? But I'm awfully glad that I did not pay $27 for this hardcover. Glad that's over with. on to the next book. Finally, the last book that I have read since I've been gone is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teaching of plants. And this was a gift to me. Thank you so much to the person who gave it to me. I am very grateful. This is a really special book. And I wish I knew how to classify it. There is science, there is botany, there is indigenous knowledge and indigenous folklore. There is memoir, stories about communities, ecological restoration, our relationship to the earth, the gift of reciprocity with the land. It is the only book, I will tell you, that made me actually, when I finished it, I just wanted to go out and like literally like hug my trees or touch my trees, go and look at all my bushes and all my plants, you know, and of course they're not in their prime right now, but I really want to learn more about the things that are growing in my own yard, because I've realized, like, I don't know what all of them are, because my house is old, and so other people planted those plants there. But the writing in this is excellent. There was only one time where I felt like she dipped a little too, it was just a little too like reading a scientific journal article. And if that's your jam, like, this is definitely a book for you. But I have sticky notes in here, but like, I could have put a sticky note on nearly every page. The writing is just so good, and she's just really good at evoking places and people and relationships, and yeah. But like I said, I think this is a book that's gonna stay with me for a while, and I'm already, like, I had a moment reading this where I was like, oh, I need to plant a garden, and then I was like, okay, Kelly, you can barely handle your life right now. so let's hold off on that a little bit. I also don't have a lot of room in my yard for a garden, so there would definitely have to be some serious work to build that up. But anyway, so maybe in the future. But it definitely inspired me to just really appreciate land and nature and the amazing things that plants can do. I just had no idea. So super happy. 4 books, you guys. For me, that is a lot. If you're new to my channel, that's a lot of books for me to read. Okay, so what I'm currently reading is Dead Lions by Mick Herron. This is the second book in the Slow Horses series, so I'm not very far into this yet, but I needed a little break. And this coming week, I plan to start Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. And finally, I just wanted to share with you a couple new additions to the library. Now, I do have a haul journal. I've written down all the books that I have been given or purchased since I started Booktube 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago almost. But these books, I mean, it might take me years to read them. So, and I bought one of them. Okay. So, this is the Penguin Book of Christmas Stories. And I blame Nathan for this purchase because he was talking about reading short stories in December, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And I found this on eBay. My only problem is when I got it, I opened it up and look at how small the type is in there. I wish they could have made this book a little bit bigger and had a little bit larger font. So this is a book that I probably will read like over the course of maybe several Christmases. So I'm just gonna dip my toes into this a little bit in December. I do have some other Christmas books to read as well. So anyway, and then finally, Jason made this purchase, although it was something we'd been looking for and we had not been able to find. It was out of print for a while, and then I think Jason also found this on eBay. But this is the Annotated Wind in the Willows. Oh my God, I love The Wind in the Willows. It's so great. So I have read several annotated editions of things in the last couple of years, and it is quite an experience. But I don't see myself getting to this in the next year. I think I need a little bit of a break from the annotated editions. They're so wonderful. They're so special. It's such a great reading experience. But I'm just not. Yeah, just not. I've got other plans for next year, which we will be talking about in December. I also want to say to those of you who reached out to me on Voxer, which was totally fine, by the way. I think some people felt like, well, Kelly's on a break from Booktube. That does not mean I'm on a break from friendship, of course. So, but anyway, some people reached out to me with some serious tag requests, and so I will be working on that and hopefully have a couple tag videos up in the next week to kind of catch up a little bit. Anyway, I hope if you celebrated Thanksgiving that you had a lovely day. Please feel free to tell me about it in the comment section, what you've been reading in the last month. If you've read any of the books that I discussed, what you think of them. So please, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. I have missed you all so much. You just really have no idea. So, Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll be back soon with another bookish video. Bye.